Good evening, friends, foes, and those bound here by a mysteriously worded pact you definitely didn't read all the way through. And by now, do you really have any excuse? Welcome to This Is Your Questline. I am your host, Wisteria Daggerford. Yes, Daggerford, not that silly little tabletop game mortals play to pretend they could ever be like us. Tonight, I'm joined by a very special guest. But first, if this is your first time here, A, what the fuck? And B, let me explain what is going on. You've all been summoned here to this plane to hear first-hand accounts from adventurers, like tonight's guest, if you could call them that, their wins, their losses, their not-so-near misses with death, and their messy little choices along the way. And trust me, it's so good you'll simply die. But not me, I can't, you can. Tonight's guest, an archfey, a seasonal icon, has been called a number of different things. Changemaker, the Lord of Autumn, and by some, a walking red flag, at least you could argue. He's meddled with the shroud, toyed with mortals, and somehow still manages to make it look charming. It's the reason your pact feels both empowering and like a bad idea. Tonight, Mr. Red.
An interesting place I find myself in. Wisteria Daggerford. Flowers and a knife. I like the implication.
I like that you come with your own theme music and a scent of... is that peppercorn?
It is.
To
Follows
follow
me
you everywhere?
It does.
Interesting. Like mines. Well, let's get this show on the road, I guess. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you are obligated by my plane to answer them. Because, just a reminder, Mr. Ed, this is my plane this evening, not yours. So, we're going to start at the beginning of your journey. Some would call it a hero's journey, I don't know. Where did yours begin? And how does that play a part in where you are now?
Well, a hero's journey is not my life. You must be mistaken by... Perhaps you've summoned the wrong individual. Though my name you seem to have on your lips, it is my story you've gotten wrong. I am no adventurer. I seek no adventure, only change.
So,
And my life, if you can call what I am a life, has been nothing but change. From blood and feathers in time of darkness, I have existed until I took this mantle on my own and claimed my place among the Archfey. This is my story, and your trickster god ways are not going to unravel me tonight.
oh, I like you. This'll be fun. And challenge accepted, I guess. So, I guess to rephrase, what's the most formative part of your journey so far? Not adventure, just experience that you have been through. I'm not going to say lived. Some of us are above living.
Well, I once lived long ago, long ago, when the elves were still dreams. I lived. But now, not like you, but akin perhaps, I am above that. An immortal of a type. So if we talk about the most important part of my life, it was equal parts death and rebirth. Because my life ended and this existence began.
How long ago did you become reborn, would one say?
Time is fickle in the Fey realm. Why am I answering your questions?
Well, because the people want to know, and when I say the people, I mean the people of my realm. See, here's the thing with this place. Sometimes I grow bored. And when I grow bored, I like to entertain myself, and I do that by zapping you out of your little realms and bringing you to mine. It too is mortal.
Well, I'll play your game for now until I find out how to twist it to my advantage.
I would say that you can twist your own realm, Mr. Red.
What do you know of my realm?
Well, we're not going to jump ahead to all of the juicy parts just yet. We're going to start at a very simple question for most, except for all of those with mummy and daddy issues, which seems to be a lot of people, I'm learning. We've spoken very briefly of your rebirth. Speak to me about your life beforehand. What was your family like? Do you remember them at all? Were you an only child, perhaps?
Family was not what I experienced. They were kin, if you could call them that, but it was a savage time. Time before time. I have existed since the dwarves left their mountains for the first time, shed their stone forms and turned to flesh. I am old, Wisteria. Maybe as old as you, maybe not. I haven't quite worked out what or when you existed.
I have existed for as long as time has.
Then you are perhaps slightly older than me, and
But I don't
well,
look it, so that's what matters.
indeed, because appearances are what matters. Perception of reality shapes it.
I'm glad we're on the same page. Speaking of appearances and looks in general, you call yourself Mr. Red currently, so color me intrigued. What is your favorite shade of red?
Mm. I am fond of the dark red, arterial red, we could call it.
I know
Though
the
I am
shade.
not as common a thing as one of those blood-sucking vampires. Blood has always been important.
Yes, it's a life form for many. Not for me. But Mr. Red is not the only name you've gone by. You've gone by Changemaker, Fallbringer, Lord of Autumn. How do you pick these names, or are they picked for you?
I pick them because occasionally it is worth shedding a name like a snake sheds a skin. Too many people know a name. Too many people have power over a name. Names are powerful, after all. I'm sure you know that, Miss Daggerford.
I do. Changemaker, how did that one come about then?
Ah, yes. I was, for a time, quite helpful to people in the world. They made bargains for changes in their world, in their life. I granted their wishes with a twist, of course. Change is what I'm about.
Interesting. And what was the most interesting change that you saw during that period of time?
There was a merfolk princess who wished for a change of scenery. so to speak. It was simple to give her legs, almost as simple as whisking her away across the world somewhere else.
You have beat me to that question. You speak of this merfolk princess, and you two were spotted together before she disappeared, so you're claiming responsibility for that.
I only gave her the legs and the means with which to seek her own adventure elsewhere, though I perhaps introduced the would-be adventuring captain to the newly legged princess. What they did afterwards is not my responsibility.
And do you know of what they did afterwards?
Oh, is this a family show? I'm not sure I'm
No,
actually.
absolutely not.
Well, they adventured together for some time, and there was fondness, we'll say. Quite a disruption at home it would be. Princess, I think perhaps the crown princess. Quite a disruption.
It's always time for a little disruption. So that's Changemaker. What about Fallbringer? Where did that one come from?
Well, it's a little play on what I am. I'm sure we're about to get to it, but I'm going to beat you to the punch once again. I have also been known as the Lord of Autumn, because that is technically my official title amongst the courts. There is the Queen of Wind and Darkness, and there is the Queen Titania of the Summer Court, but the autumn and the spring, technically battlefields between the two summer and winter courts, but domains with which I found a niche, and I wedged my existence into that niche and founded my realm. Trees fall, leaves fall, kingdoms fall.
And when you built your realm, what was the first part you designed?
I built a room with which to cloak myself in safety. And from there, I established hallways and rooms and chambers, and eventually a place of entertainment and chance with which to bring others into my realm and into my service.
Now, I'm going to interrupt you this time because I'm not ready to speak about that just yet. And this is my show, so I can do whatever the fuck I like. Tell me about the Shroud. Let's start there.
Ah, the Shroud. An interesting organization that seeks simultaneously change and stagnation. They wish to control information. They wish to shroud the world in their controlling grasp, to obscure things. They wish to change things in ways they wish, manipulating people, organizations, all through intermediaries, of course. They are themselves shrouded. And I'm sure you can agree it is intoxicating when someone sticks to a theme. And so I found myself Employed is too simple a word, but it's a close approximation. I wanted some things, and they wanted some things done, and so I worked for them to achieve some goals. Nudge some things here, push some people there, smooth out certain wrinkles, introduce people to other people. I'm not aligned with their goals, but for a time, I wanted to see what change they would bring. That is ended now. My purpose has changed.
Okay, so you would say that your working relationship has gone in different directions.
Yes. Though who knows the fate that will come in the future. We may work together again.
What would it take to work with them again?
They would need to be doing something interesting. And so far lately, they've been doing nothing but bore me.
Interesting. I like that. I'm going to steal it. I do want to speak about some of your other working relationships because, from my understanding, you are a patron to some.
Yes. There are interesting people in the world with which I lend my power.
How much of your power?
Oh, Wisteria, just a fraction. Just a little bit off the top to help them here and there. They have such small problems, and my power, as large as it is, can go quite a long way for them.
Mortals do have the stupidest small problems. So, what is it that you ask in return from those you lend your power to?
That they work for me, and they fulfill tasks that I give them. Sometimes it is simple. I give them an acorn, I ask them to plant it. Or I instruct them to offer an acorn to another. Sometimes it's tasks that confuse mortals, but the machinations of the Fae are multitudinous, and sometimes an object needs to be in a certain place at a certain time, and while it may seem unimportant to the mortals, it is but one domino in a long, long game.
And the game you're playing, forgive me, I've been submitted this by my producer. The game you're playing with one Meredith?
Ah, one of my most recent warlocks. Yes, she is an interesting one. We have quite a history.
Care to expand on that history or just remain vague and ominous?
Vague and ominous is my forte, but I can hear the crowds. They want more information. I'll give them a morsel. I stepped in when all hope seemed lost and offered my power. And then, of course, like every warlock out there, they get a taste of power and they want more, and then more. And then I ask them to do a job for me. And it's a small thing. And then they do it. And I give them more power. And it's a cycle you see. And then, well, how much time have they spent in my service? What acts have they done in my name? But the power they've received. Oh, the power they've received. It was so easy to grasp and wield. Warlocks are an interesting bunch. Anyone with half of a brain can pick up a spell book and teach themselves magic. There are people out there who have connections to nature and can wield magic by studying the way the wind blows and trees grow. Book learned people, as I mentioned, yes, they can pick up a book and just learn magic. But then there are some out there who want the power without the work. And sometimes they just need a little push to help them through a task. But then why not a little more, and then more, and then more? I make sure that my warlocks can back out of deals whenever they want, but I withdraw my power if they are no longer in my service.
Seems like a fair trade.
Yes, but most of them don't withdraw because, well, the people they're adventuring with, they've been getting stronger. The wizards have been learning more spells. And if they no longer have access to my power, they'll fall behind.
Then they're a
They'd be-
burden. Poor mortals.
But sometimes it's important to have agents out in the world to do things for you. Mortals are so useful. They go unnoticed by so many beings until, oh, what's that? That avatar of that god has been defeated. Oh, what a shame for that god. If only you'd seen that adventurer coming. Too bad.
And how many of these warlocks do you have wandering?
No. I'm sorry, that is privileged information, and you have not earned that privilege yet, Wisteria.
I am nothing if not a privilege, Mr. Red.
Well, you keep me long enough, and we'll see how that works out for both of us.
Great, then I will re-ask that question towards the end. How does that sound?
We'll see if my tongue has loosened by then.
I'm sure I can make that happen should I need to.
We'll see.
Let's circle back then to your realm and what you were alluding to earlier. It has been described as a casino of sorts. Would that be accurate based on what you've said?
Games of chance are played there, entertainment provided. A casino is one word for it, but limiting.
Surface level question. What's the dress code?
Oh, I cater to a wide range of individuals. If I say that people must be wearing closed shoes, then the satyrs and the kenku and whatnot, they're not going to be able to enter. So, listen. My realm exists in the Feywilds. Even if you're naked, you can come in.
Interesting.
We are not a family establishment.
Well, that makes two establishments then this evening. Let's talk about the currency that you exchange, or maybe not currency is the right word, but from what I am to understand, people can use memories. Is that correct?
Yes, I offer a wide variety of powerful magical items which have been acquired through various means. And to obtain these, you just need to have a representative number of tokens. Tokens which can be easily exchanged through a member of staff who will swap a memory for a token. And then if you win tokens, you may exchange them for that item. And if you have the leftover token, well, you can get that memory back.
How long do people, on average, stay in this establishment of yours?
Mm. There it is again. Time is fickle. For you see, I can only open portals to the mortal realm during my season. But people can stay for quite a bit longer within my realm. Although sometimes it feels like time passes so quickly that they leave and time has passed them right by. But the world has changed. It used to be that mortals only lived on one half of the world. Now, there are two hemispheres, two autumns. So, as long as it's not summer or winter, there are ways into my realm.
When people exchange these memories, how do you store them?
Oh, I have a staff member who is expertly positioned to store these memories.
Are they stored physically in a receptacle, magically?
It's magic of a sort.
What type of magic?
An industry secret, I'm afraid. Rest assured, they are secured and safe.
Surely you can give me just a teensy clue.
My establishment employs a wide range of individuals, people, creatures, entities that wanted a change in their life. Perhaps they found themselves in a situation where they did no longer wish to be, and I offered them an opportunity. There are so many people destined for things. Destiny is a bad game of chance.
Speaking my language.
I offer other ways.
Of these memories you've collected, what's the most embarrassing one you've ever received?
Ooh. Memories with the heightened emotions are so valuable and important. They shape people. Mortals are collections of memories bound together in flesh, and it drives their actions. Embarrassing memories, so important. So many nobility and royalty and highborns have embarrassed themselves in so many ways. You asked me to pick a single way.
Let's just think of the one that stuck with you the most, or had the most impact then. From that embarrassing pool of
Yes.
selection.
There was a hero who was a devout follower of the god of heroes, in fact. And they thought every action they did was just and right because they were a hero. A hero is just a term, not even a title. It is a name that you call yourself or others call you because you are on the side of history that is currently winning. And this hero thought they rescued a wizard from a cave. A poor wizard bound by unbreakable shackles beneath a magical city. But it was no wizard. It was a dark and powerful and deadly god of chaos and destruction that had been bound for so long, its magic siphoned by the city above, and this hero was tricked. They thought they were a hero and they were foolish, and their name was spread far and wide as the fool that doomed the world. And they wished to forget.
So, say it out loud, their name.
Kyla the Foolish. 1,000 years of darkness they wrought. No longer a hero. No longer much of anything, actually. Without memories, a mortal isn't very much.
How humiliating. At least for them, I don't really feel humiliation. But let's talk about some of your memories. If there's something you're so familiar with, let's take a look at yours. What's one memory that you wish you could forget?
There was a time when I was mortal and weak, when I required help to achieve my goals. There is an oath I have made that must be kept. My memory of it eternal. Who I am and what I am. I owe help to an individual. They aided me, and I owe them a life debt. But an eternal life is so long.
So, with that in mind, not that you wish it was, because that's the entire point, but if you had the option to go back and change that path taken, would you? And if so, how?
No.
Why?
The path I took led me to where I am now. Without it, I would be just a wild fae out in the wilderness with nothing. If I even existed at all now, where would have been destroyed long ago, most likely. I exist now because of the path I took. Though it has its flaws, existence is better than non-existence. At least for me.
I don't know what the concept of non-existence looks like, which is really nice for me. Now, part of that means I'm incredibly connected, and I know a lot about all of the worlds and beyond, some of which is not so pleasant. But it does mean I have heard of your little establishment before. And from what I understand, there are some rumors or allegations of an elder brain working in your establishment. Tell us about that.
I already have. I've
No,
mentioned
more.
a staff member I have in my employ that assists with the procurement of memories. I've spoken of employees who wish to change their fate. An elder brain is trapped, stuck in a role in their society. Illithids, they have but one course in their world: consume, grow, consume more. Their empires grow until those around them take notice and fight back. An elder brain is the leader of that society. It is grown and tended for, and while it is powerful, it is trapped in that role. But what if one wanted to no longer have the burden of responsibility? Well, that would be quite a change indeed.
Do you ever have concerns of this elder brain finding a new master of sorts? And the consequences that might follow.
Loyalty is fickle. Some oaths are bound in blood, and death is what occurs when they are broken.
And it all runs red. Interesting, that. We're going to do a little bit of a pivot. I want to talk about your relationships. Mr. Red, have you ever been in love?
Not as mortals would call it, but I have had infatuations with pastimes and hobbies and sometimes individuals. But love is beneath me at this point. Can you love?
Oh yes, I've loved many and had many, many divorces. It's quite fun. You should try it sometime. Not with me. But let's talk about the last thing you infatuated, or person you infatuated yourself with. Who were they? What was it about them?
There's someone I know now who I have a connection with, and it is challenging. There are conflicting emotions. It's like I want to hold them dearly and crush them entirely.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yes, well, conflicting.
Do they have a name?
I do.
And dare you utter it?
I dare not.
Why? You scared?
Because a name is power, and to utter it without purpose is a dangerous thing.
I'll let you keep that one. Secrets can be fun, but you can tell me when the cameras stop rolling. How does that sound?
Sounds like a deal.
Excellent. Now, you have been seen around a group of what we would call heroes, or, well, not heroes, adventurers. They probably call themselves heroes. Tell us about them, and one by one I'd like to know your thoughts on them. Describe them to me. And don't worry, they won't know. They can't see this. They are back on whatever plane it is that they exist on. This is
Sure.
just between me and you.
And your audience.
Oh yes, but don't worry about them.
Very well. Begin.
Oh no, you begin. Tell us about them one by one. Start with your favorite.
I assume you're talking about those academics that keep popping around in my business.
Academics.
Yes. Well, there's three of them, and they are interesting and frustrating. I'll start with my warlock, Meredith Meadowlark. She is a bard who reads a lot, and honestly, they are frustrating because they just don't quite fall into line. But it is fun to task them with things I know they will frustrate and agonize over, because that is, of course, part of the game. They're an excellent performer, I will give them that. Next, I will talk about Harold Wentworth, a noble who, because of their birth, are not expected to do anything. So they've gone into academia and they study the stars. Oh, the things in the stars. Well, they've started to look back, haven't they? You can only look into the void so long before the void starts looking back. And he has just not been asking the questions of reality that he needs to. And the gifts he's been given by others have been misplaced. And finally, there is Potentia, whose name is More, but she holds back because of who she comes from. Her family are important, and she runs from that. She wants nothing to do with that, but she goes to academia, a place her family are very much involved with. A wizard, studious, but like many elves, somewhat set in their ways.
Say you had to end one of their stories early. Who would it be, and why?
Well, the one whose death would bring about the most change in the world, given current trajectories, would be Harold. Their death would be quite a domino in the grand scheme of destiny. They are so meaningless and important, and their death would be impactful, yet, like many deaths, fleeting and
Yes.
useless. Potential would be interesting if she died. I imagine there would be inquiries. There would be no inquiry if Meredith died. Her death would be mourned, but minute. So my answer is Harold.
Okay.
His death would bring about the most change.
Interesting. As this group of academics has been but a short, I guess, part of your existence overall, do you find yourself more likely to align with them or be a thorn in their side?
I've aided them several times. I've gotten them paid when they've forgotten to speak to the right people, though that was the Shroud's request. Smoothing some things over, wrinkles in destinies. I have helped, I would say, more than I've hindered, but my help is not free. Everything comes with a price, and sometimes the challenges have not been met exactly. But I can't complain. I have a warlock from the group, and they have been quite useful thus far.
And watching them over this amount of time, what's the most impressive thing you've witnessed them do from your perspective? Or just heard about. You don't have had to have seen it with your own eyes.
Well, they've defeated some powerful foes, though recently they disappeared from my ability to perceive them. And you can imagine how frustrating that would be if I cannot perceive my warlock. Not even a flicker in reality could I locate her. She was outside of my ability to perceive her, which I imagine you might understand to be a cleric of yours disappearing. And you scour reality as far as you can see, and they are just not there. Not dead, gone. And then they reappear. And they don't say anything to you either.
Oh, I like them. That's interesting. What, that aside, is the least impressive thing they've done?
Oh.
Maybe something stupid or destructive. And not for the service of anything worthwhile.
Oh, quite recently they destroyed a carnival tent. Some grudge or vendetta against one of them, and it spiraled out of control, as they always do with these adventuring types, and well, A wizard died, but it was just one wizard in a tent of mirrors and illusions. Impressive as it was to defeat a foe, pick better foes.
And how many warlocks do you have working for you?
Enough.
In a number value would be nice. Or at least a range, shall we say.
More than a handful, less than a horde.
See, that wasn't so hard, was it?
No. Your realm's power is quite interesting. Perhaps when the cameras are no longer rolling, we could discuss how you make it do what you make it do.
Oh, I can give you many tips.
Oh, I'd love to give you mine.
I'm sure we can exchange. But before we do that, thinking back once again to your time as a mortal, if you could go back as yourself now and give that mortal one valuable piece of advice, what would it be?
When you claim the mantle of autumn and the previous Lord of the Fall lays dying, its blood coursing across your body, before any words are said by those around you, kill every single one of them.
I like that. And if you could go back now to the moment of your rebirth and give that reborn advice, would it be the same or different?
If I did not kill them and I had to make that oath, then what I would tell my newly born self is learn to be patient, because you're going to have to wait a very long time to fulfill your oath. You won't understand how long that is.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because now time is but a mortal concept. At least to me. I'm sure that's something you can at least somewhat relate to.
Yes. But even time passes in the Feywilds. Slow, fast, both. Divorced from the mortal world, the Fey realms are fickle. But when you owe an oath to a mortal that has not yet been born, it can take quite a while.
And it all just bleeds together.
It does. Oh, it does. It is complicated.
It's my favorite word. So, let's just say you were bound by the mortal construct of time. And the sun begins to set on the end of your story. What does your perfect ending look like?
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Fae can be killed. Difficult as it is. Archfey in particular. I would know. I killed one. If I find myself dying, I want the person, the being, the entity that kills me to be worthy of the mantle. My death would just be another change in the world. A world that never stops changing. And so I would hope that whoever kills me and claims the mantle afterwards is worthy of it.
I rarely do this, but I'm going to ask a follow-up question. Why so convinced that your end is someone's doing?
Because, as far as I'm aware, they do not die of old age, unless that is their tale. Some Fae in their bound stories. But for me, I can only be killed with murder. With a blade, with magic, with whatever it might be, but I can be killed. Difficult as it is, I can be killed. And like everything that can be killed, one day I will be.
What if it was the end of all things instead?
And I would walk into eternity laughing, knowing that I would be there for the last change.
Mr. Red, let's say you have an audience of your entire realm. What is one message you would mass broadcast to them right now?
Do you mean the mortal realms?
All
Or
of
my
them.
domain? Ah. Everything within that sphere with which my world exists. Oh, there was a book. So interesting. But a line within it is truly well written. Simple. I would broadcast my voice so all may hear, and I would say, change places.
Well, you all heard it here first, and probably not last, but that was all we had for this evening. Mr. Red, thank you so much for joining me here this evening, and I will ask you to stick around for some tips that I think we can both learn from each other.
I look forward to it.
For all of you watching along, stick around. We're going to come back with some mortal bullshit very shortly. We will be right back.
We're leaving. We are.
Wait.
Yeah,
let's
we don't
go.
do this.
We might
Yeah,
not
do
be
you
getting
know that
paid.
you buy a girl dinner before you peg her?
Don't, don't you know that? Don't
That's
you
all
know
means
that?
So I don't enjoy being prey, but I enjoy being exposed to predators.
Yeah. Stepford, being first, dislikes being second. Listen, coming second is not usually my preference. Actually, no, that's a lie. I prefer to... Wait, guys, don't fucking clip that. Do not clip that. Too far. Go on.
There's such a delay on the strip. Wow. Give me
I
3
don't know
minutes.
why, it was still hot. He grabs you by the collar and says, "It's not your time yet."
Yes, it fucking is.
Salt?
Swap them. Swap them.
You care for this one.
Take the book. Leave her alone. Walk away.
If you have anything to say, now's the time.
Celia, I'm out of moves here. What do I do?
You need to run.
She'll slit your throat.
But I think then having kind of been stepped through what you can only assume is Tybella's memory of her life, Well, here's a moment of thankfulness that he was able to have that shared with him in whatever way that was able to happen. Snapping out of that and assuming that she is gone, still weeping, will just whisper in her ear, I'm so sorry. I'm out of moves. But never for a moment think that you need to dance around information with me.
I'm not dancing.
If there's a danger to you, there is a danger to me, and potentially vice versa at this point.
Okay. I get it. She circles behind you, and in your left ear, you hear her say, I'm sorry, Valenda, but I'm out of moves. And she walks away, back towards her tent.
Oh, fuck off.
The problem is that I'm a chronic overthinker. So, like,
Oh, that's the problem, is it?
yeah. So,
Woo!
I'm just gonna overthink about what Promethean just said for so long.
Oh no!
Emily! Oh my god!
Is meets beats in the favor of the person striking. And because he's striking at you, he will beat your meat, if that makes sense. Fuck.
Yeah.
So
Don't
say.
Can
you-
yeah, can you say that again? I didn't catch it.
Just run it back.
Yeah, roll it back, roll it back. What was that?
I missed it.
As Eden pulls away from you, what are you doing in this moment?
Well, that was unexpected. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
But I need you to be completely aware. We are in truly so much danger right now. We need to get out of here.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. You want to do that?
Yeah.
If anybody ever said thank you to me,
Are we all gonna
Wait, is your guardian Harry Styles?
Hey, yes, it is.
Wow! Oh my god!
Is it actually?
Do you know how long I've been waiting for someone to notice?
I don't think we've seen.
All this creation! Oh my god, I just sat. Like, that's how excited I just got.
Wow!
Wow!
Oh,
Wow!
fucking hell! Well
Thank
done.
you so much. Who doesn't want to watch Slayla Twift and Sari Tiles hanging out? Like,
She's gone. I can sense it.
Yeah.
That has
Yeah.
destroyed Salt completely.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, thanks for hanging out, chat. My name, if you're just joining or if you've been here the entire time, my name's Emily. I am the GM, producer, and chief executive Thirstmaster here on Hexes of X's, where, like, we do a bunch of TTRPG shit. I've got a lolly in my mouth. I'm sorry. But, wow. Tonight's not about me. Tonight's about my special guest, Ben. Ben, tell us who you are, where we can find you, what you've been up to, what you got coming up. This is your time for the spotlight, baby girl.
Yeah, so I am the DM for Dungeons and Doctorates. We're a weekly actual play podcast where we've been going for about 5 years now. It follows 3 academics going through a fantasy university trying to get their fantasy PhDs, dealing with monsters, magic, and peer reviewers. We just met Mr. Red, who is an NPC in that campaign, and the patron of one of those characters who did not start as a warlock, started as a bard, and through meeting Mr. Red and dealing with him, eventually became a warlock in service to him, and this is Joe, the player, finds Mr. Red to be one of the most frustratingly interesting characters she's ever had to deal with. So I think I've succeeded there.
We love that.
I'm also going to be soonishly launching a new sci-fi podcast called Vox and Varsio, which is going to be on a different channel, more like horror themes in that one than my current, family-friendly podcast. So yeah, gonna be really fun. We ran a game at PAX recently, PAX Australia, where it was set in that world.
I stand
but
by it, by
kind of a
the
different
way,
tone because it was
favorite panel at PAX. Like that was one of my genuine favorite panels at PAX. It was really, really enjoyable. So kudos.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Definitely like 90 minutes to sell like, oh, there is horror in this world, and not like creeping horror, but like corporate nightmare horror.
Yeah.
I think I managed to get some of that in there.
Yeah.
Some body horror as well in well. But yeah, it was a good time. The other it's got like an anthology series where each like story arc is a whole different bunch of characters, like just set in the same universe. Yeah, very fun. And what else? I guessed on a bunch of things. Split the party. I've been twice dead on Hexes and Vexes for the Halloween one shot. Yeah. So I mean, I catch me on whatever upcoming Halloween things we've got here because I'm sure I'll die again. I've died before and I'll die again.
Yeah. I have revealed that we'll be doing Dead Channel again this year. And for those of you playing along at home, Ben will be coming back. Ben is like, I've said this, I don't know if I've said this to you, Ben, but I've said it to definitely at least Promethean, that anytime I do Dead Channel and you're available, you're instantly invited. That like, there is no Dead Channel that I will willingly do without you in it. Cause every time you've just had golden fucking character moments. And like, in the coolest way, fucking kids are murdering is still one of my favorite things that's ever happened on a channel I've been on. So yeah, cool. And fucking Dragon Ball Z death.
I owe you a gun.
Yeah,
that was good. That was a really good one.
Gun. That was great. And also the Circle of Lighters was the other thing.
I also. Yeah. Just some goofy fun. I think my comedy is like a comedy sniper. Like I'm not funny for a long time and I just nail something and it's just like very, very funny.
Yeah, I think I called you subtly hilarious.
Do subtle things. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I think that's
cool. My brand, I suppose. Subtly hilarious.
Well, I think it's cool because like there can be a tendency, particularly in one shots, where it's like, fuck, I have to land these bits, or these are the things that I want to hit. And I don't feel like I get that energy from you. I think what I get instead is like, hey, we're playing a thing and this is popped into my head and I think I can land it, but I'm waiting for the moment. And it's always done on the moment, which I think is the important part because bits aren't funny unless they are landed in the moment. So yeah, no.
I think I'm also pretty good at trying to like land one shots to completion. Like whatever the task is we're trying to achieve, I'm like, great, how do we get there and keep things moving in that direction?
Let us leave the starting area.
And so yeah, like let's leave the starting area, let's go kicking down doors and finding out the thing we need to do. Let's like whatever loopy crazy thing we've ended up in, how do we tie this back to the task we were set here to achieve? And can we like tie this bow and like have a satisfying ending?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that comes into being a DM as well, which you are. So that's, a thing, right? When it comes
I've been running games for
beat me to it. I fucking love
10 years. Yeah, like I didn't play D&D until I was at uni. Now, to be fair, I was at uni in like 2008, like 2007 or something. Like it was a long time ago. And I started in 3.5. I also started in Vampire the Masquerade. Um, and like jumped fully into 3.5 D&D and started running games like twice a month, alternating. At one point I was running 4 different campaigns simultaneously.
What?
With Yeah, I ran 3 D&D campaigns, all set in the same world, which is why Dungeons and Doctorates, like the world feels so lived in. It's because I was running 3 campaigns through the world at the same time, and
That's
like the
wild.
stuff that they did impacted the world. And currently, Dungeons and Doctorates is set like 100 years after the last campaign I ran. So like
Right.
I kind of shuffled some things around. Um, but like I was running 3 campaigns in the same world. And then the fourth game I ran, I would like switch different systems. So I ran like Star Wars D20. I ran like a modern like Call of Cthulhu, but like a D20 system because that's what I was the most familiar with.
Yeah.
Um, I ran a bunch of like random homebrew stuff because I am a nerd, if in case it wasn't obvious. So I ran like a Naruto D20. I
Mm.
ran a Full Metal Alchemist D20, which was something I made myself actually.
Mm.
Um, and like it was every like the first Saturday of the month and the third Saturday of the month were the games that I were running, and I would alternate months. So like if you had a game on one Saturday, then like 2 months later was your next game. But we would run from like 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. breaking for lunch and dinner. Like we
Whoa.
ran full days of like D&D back when we were just like university students.
That's so cool. I love that. I've always wanted to do just like a D&D palooza, like just one day, just like from fucking let's cook up a breakfast and then let's
So
like have break for lunch and break for dinner and then after dinner mints is the end.
like that's what we did. Like we would have breakfast, meet at 10 o'clock. Some people still be having breakfast. We'd play until like 1 or 2 o'clock, break for lunch for like an hour, play until we'd have dinner at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, break for another hour, and then keep going until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Just like D&D the whole time. Um, and it was wild. We got through so much content that I was like, I think that's why I have developed as an improv DM so much because like you start writing what you're doing this session and it's like, okay, great. That covers the first half of a day of D&D, and then now it's whatever they've done at that point. Like you need to be able to react to whatever's happening. And like so I started doing less like structured writing and more like scenes.
Mm.
And so like, okay, how do I get from this scene to this scene and to this scene later? And then trying to like not railroad, but like oh,
Yeah.
you're going to do this crazy thing and you're in a dungeon and then now you get to this room and this room has this thing that I've crafted in it.
Yeah,
Or
cool.
you're in a town doing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, you get to a town and suddenly players just like, I'm gonna go this way and this way and this way and this way. I'm like, okay, you go into this place and like I just have to make up a bunch of stuff. Um,
What's the
yeah.
hardest thing for you to make
And
up
I ran a bunch
on the
of
fly?
it's always character names. Character
Yeah.
names suck.
They're
Anytime, like
the
I can make
worst.
an NPC. Like I can come up with a goofy voice, and then I'll pick a race, I'll pick a class, I'll pick like oh they're the baker, but they used to be a barbarian. But they freaking love punching dough and making bread.
Yeah.
And now they are a baker. And they're buff and
Oh, but what's
muscular,
their name?
and they have a tiny wife that they love. Like they love this tiny wife that like this is the person that is my person. I love this tiny person. And they're like, oh great, what's their name? And I'm like, Brofferson, Brofferson bread maker is the name.
I tend to do the thing where,
Uh,
like, you know, where
yeah,
people
just
name
just
their dogs after, like, human names? And it's like, oh, I've got a dog named Steve. Like, suddenly all my NPCs just become like, I've got all these cool names, but all the ones I make up on the spot are like, oh, yeah, this is Cheryl. Like, just stupid
yeah.
fucking.
Oh, but
Sorry,
like
Cheryls of
some
the
of those
universe.
goofy NPCs become like they become like the favorite character. Like I had players, they met a pixie in the forest who spent their entire existence sitting on a rock,
Yeah.
and their name was Rock. Because that's what they were about. They're like, this is my rock. I am Rock.
Yeah.
And here I am. And I gave them like the most like high pitched like nasally voice,
Good.
and I'm like, they're gonna hate this guy. He's just gonna be in the forest and give them bad directions because pixie. But they kept like getting lost and coming back to this one spot, and they grew an attachment to this thing, and I'm like, oh no. And so then like much later, 'cause I did like a time skip where like, okay, now we've
Yeah.
had like, 10 years in coming back to this forest, and then like they hear this voice and they're like, it's Rock, we found you.
Good. Good.
It's
Love
me.
that.
You found me. Like, yeah, just this. I'm very much like consequence oriented as well. Like if
Yeah.
players, I'm like, if you fuck around, you'll find out. Like because
I
oh,
love
I'm gonna
that
do this
saying
thing. Like,
so
well, there
much.
are guards and like people in the world out there who are going to come down hard on you and like mess you up. Like oh, you're a level 5 adventurer. Great.
Yeah.
You're more powerful than like 70% of the things in the world, but those 30% of the other things are gonna mess your day up.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I'm very much like I have like a Terry Pratchett background for a lot of my world building. So like gods are powered by individuals. And so if you want to threaten a god, you threaten all of their followers.
That's cool.
And
I
so
like
it's like,
that.
oh, here is somebody like going into an area and they're killing a bunch of people because like, oh, we're just gonna, be a bunch of murder, like malicious, just adventurers. You know how adventurers you just like wander through towns, wandering, just like slaughtering whole orc armies and things. And it's like, well, all these orcs worship the god of fighting.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily an orc
Now it's a
god, but like a god
challenge.
very associated with orcs. Well, he's like, well, they're killing all these followers, so his power's getting weaker, and so he has to like send somebody to go and fight them. Otherwise, like they're gonna keep doing things. But also, like he's the god of fighting, so he kind of digs it as well.
Yeah.
Like he's happy for it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, like there are kingdoms in my world where gods are held at knife point effectively. Like the kings and like rulers of the country are like, great, we're really controlling of magic and things in our country, and we can restrict what spell books are distributed and how people are taught magic, and we can like give out licenses for magic,
Yeah.
but like clerics get their power straight from the source. So how do we control clerics? Oh, I know. We'll threaten the gods and say, if your clerics don't
Cool.
follow our laws, we're going to kill every single follower of your like religion in our country.
That's
and then go
sick.
on crusades to other countries and kill other people to make you weaker. So
You're
have
destroying
your
influence as
followers
well. Yeah.
do what we say.
That's cool. I like that. When it comes
Yeah.
to like for you, because you've played and obviously you GM a bunch of different systems. What's the process for you in creating a character that is a player character versus creating a well-rounded NPC like Mr. Ed, for example?
So player characters are tricky. I do so many one shots that like a player character is in part a bit. Like
Yeah.
I had a dwarf monk who was just based on that um like joke about like, oh, underneath his beard he just has another fist. Like,
Yeah.
he was just.
I need you to know I'm listening to you,
I
but
think
there's a
it was
cat about to
Beardy
cause chaos, so I'm stepping off screen. Keep talking. Entertain the people.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So he was like, I think it's like Beard Fisty McFistenson from the McFistenson clan of beard fighters.
Good.
And he was just like he was a astral self monk where his astral punching arm was just his beard being animated and he would punch people with it. Um, which is just a bit like it's just like I'm gonna play a dwarf
Yeah.
that punches people with his beard. That is a bit. I played a game for Dungeons and Doctorates where I played a guy named Ray, Jay. Jay is his name, and he is my like retail persona. You know how you go into jobs and you have like your work personas? He's my retail persona.
Good.
Given character form. But I'm like, oh, well, what if, he has this tragic backstory, but he hides it under a smile his whole life?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I build a character, you want to build in like questions and like hooks that you can like give to other players at the table or the DM to be like, hey, here is this thing in my backstory. Please use it whenever you want to.
Yeah.
If my character is at a campfire, he'll use I think it was like shape earth, like mold earth or prestidigitation to like make little trinkets that reminded him of his hometown. And then when people would like come up, he'd
That's cool. I
he'd like
like
scrub it
that.
away because you can just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then oh no, people are here now.
Yeah. I fucking love that. That's cool.
He also goes to the university, but he isn't a student. Like he's there, and he just wanders from class to class and finds wherever the free stuff is, and like gets free food. And just kind of like he's at every party. He's that guy that you see at every party at a university, and he's like, what does he study?
Yeah.
I've seen him in this class, and I've seen him in that class, but what is he actually studying? And you
What's
ask
his
him directly.
major?
Yeah, it's like, I'm just kind of like trying out a bunch of things, and
Yeah,
I'm just,
good.
sitting in a bunch of classes to find out what fits. And hey, have you met this person over there? And just like deflects everything.
I fucking love that. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. When it comes to like building characters for you, do you start first with like species and class? Do you start with stats? Do you start with backstory? Like, where do you kind of begin that process?
So like, I come at characters from two different angles. There's like mechanics first, where I want to build a character to do a thing.
Yeah.
Like there's there's the classic like halfling luck based like divination wizard, like the so-called Build Murray, where you just make a character that lucks their way through life because nothing can touch them because they're halfling luck. You take the lucky feat and you're a divination wizard, so it's like, oh, this person hits you. No, they don't. They're all of 7.
Yeah. Good.
Like just I just second DM sitting at the table.
Yeah.
And then you build the narrative that like fits that, and like what does this individual look like who like luck bends over backwards to make their life better.
Yeah.
Or I build a character who like I want this character to, whenever they draw their sword, they are going to, in the next 2 hits, probably going to crit.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to just destroy something.
Yeah.
And I play that character in a game that is mostly narrative with not
Good.
much combat.
Fucking hell.
Because it's like, oh, if I'm pulling my sword out, whatever I'm fighting is going to die.
Yeah.
So I play a character who's like, if I draw my sword, this is the like that's it. Like
That's
anytime
cool.
I draw my blade, something dies. Like it's very like samurai like.
Yeah.
But like, if I draw my blade, one of us is going to die. And that's it. Like, and then like, okay, well, if I go the other way, I'm gonna build narrative first and then work out how the mechanics fit.
Yeah.
So like it's a little different in 3.5 when I used to play 3.5.
Yeah.
3.5, I've heard a really good analogy where 3.5 is driving a manual car and 5th edition is driving an automatic. Like you
Yeah.
both drive a car, you both like tell stories together, you're both playing D&D, but with an automatic, you have less control over what the car is doing.
Yeah.
You still can do it, but if you're driving a manual, you get to have like so much more intricate control.
Yeah.
3.5 is a wild system if you go back and try and use it now.
Yeah. I'm
But like,
sure it is.
I wanted to play a character that could uh, kill people with a touch.
Yeah.
And so, using the rules of 3.5, I took Disintegration Ray,
Yep.
the spell, turned that into a touch attack because you could work out how to make us like I'm going to lower the spell level by reducing the range, do all these things, make it a touch attack, and then I'm going to take feats that give me arcane like tattoos, and I just had like a tattooed arm that I could touch something and like basically cast disintegrate on them, and I built like a wizard monk where I would just like run across the
Love that
field,
combo.
touch somebody, and just kill them.
Yeah.
But like their whole thing was like their arm was cursed. Like I wanted to have like a cursed arm where like
That's sick.
they're fighting this thing where they were cursed by the gods to have like anything they touch, like a Midas touch situation
Yeah.
where like you touch things that you will kill them, and he had like his hand bound in like holy robes and things, and he'd have to like undo it whenever a fight happened to use it.
Creepy.
And it was, yeah, but like he was carrying this burden as like if he like touches something by accident,
Yeah.
the spell would go off. Like
Yeah.
mechanically it wouldn't, but I would say like I would use that spell.
Yeah.
And so that's me like I'm gonna build this troubled individual who's been cursed by the gods because of some transgression in their past, which, you know, players or the DM could bring back as like here's an emotional hook to, you know, pull in.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but mechanically just be like a terrifying individual, just like a missile. You just
I
like
don't want to meet them on the battlefield.
shoot them off into a fight, and they go and kill one person, and then they go and kill another person. Yeah, like I've seen players in 3.5 build just the most insane things, and they work.
Yeah.
But 3.5 is a whole different beast compared to 5th edition, and I'm now moving into like rules light systems
Yeah.
because I started in 3.5. I moved to 5th ed, and I'm like, oh, it's so light and breezy and like
Yeah.
creative in a way that 3.5 is like, oh, you want to do this thing? Okay, great. Book.
Yeah.
Here's how you do this thing mechanically, and we're gonna roll to do all these steps. And then 5th edition is like, yeah, you want to have your magic be a different color and like take the shape of whatever you want, go for it. There's no reason why not. And
Yeah.
and like I could just make my magic look like a dragon. Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
why not?
That's one thing that like I've kind of taken from, and to be fair, I don't have the experience of playing like as many TTRPGs or for as long. And so I started in 5th edition, and I think even now when I look at how I run my campaign, I have started referring to it as D&D is just the skeleton for whatever system it is that
Yeah.
I'm running. Like,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
just whatever.
playing other TTRPGs gives you different perspectives on how the rules can work. Like, Vampire is a great system where it's like, okay, here are your stats, and then here's like a secondary thing where it's like, okay, we're gonna roll. And I started using it in D&D, so I'm gonna bring it back to D&D because that's probably what our audience
Yeah.
is most familiar with. I'm like, okay, well, you're making a performance check, but you aren't using your charisma. You're like flexing to be muscular for your performance. So I'm gonna make you roll performance with strength.
Yeah. Cool.
And so it's like I'm not bound to like, oh, well, this is a charisma based skill. Like, well, yeah, but in this setting, it doesn't make sense for it to be charisma.
Yeah.
It's strength, or like, maybe insight. It's like, oh, well, really talking with this person. You're like really getting a good feel for them. Let's do it like charisma based, or maybe like really analytical and like you've been studying them. So it's like investigation, like an
Intelligence or
insight with
yeah.
intelligence. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like there are ways to do things. Like the kobold heist that I do
Yeah.
as a special thing. That's like a Blades in the Dark mechanic where I have like heist actions.
So cool.
Like the flashback mechanic is so good because it's like the best part of a heist movie is when you're watching the heist and they flash back to the thing where it's like, okay, they were gonna like, oh, we get to this door. How do we get
Yeah.
to the door? Flashback.
Yeah.
Well, I've swiped the key card and we've done this. And okay, great, straight through. Like you skip all of the planning. Like I've done games where like, okay, we're gonna go on this mission and we're gonna do
Yeah.
this, and like they sit around for like an hour or 2 hours planning what's going to happen, and then like first or second encounter into that situation, it goes
Derails.
sideways
Yeah.
because but like, well, what if there is no plan except what happens along the way, and we
Yeah.
just like retroactively have been planning the things,
That's
so it's
cool. I
like
like that.
it does feel very much like Wallace and Gromit, where like Gromit's on the train, he like laying the tracks as fast as he can in front of himself to
Yeah.
to keep going. It's like, well, that's what this heist is. Like you want it to be frantic, you want it to
Yeah.
be high energy. And so it's like, oh yeah, well, how do we get down this thing? Well, I brought a rope.
Yeah.
Great. Off you go.
I like injecting these things into games. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm only recently learning that I can do these things. So like my actual first forte into role play was not tabletop based, it was forum based.
Okay.
Or it was online based with a very good friend of mine named Jeannie, who I know to this day. And so it's all written. So when you have written roleplay, you can write a lot of inner monologue, right? And something that Hex, who I'm playing in a game of Candler with at the moment, has very recently last Thursday introduced me to, which I might steal at some point, is everyone at the table gets given a token, and it's a monologue token. And at some point, you can use it whenever you want, but when you use it, you give a monologue on the character's internalized monologue for the table to hear, and for the viewers to hear as well. I think that's like a really fun, cool mechanic, because there are, particularly in challenging roleplay based scenarios, there are things where a character might say something and everyone at the table is going, why is this person being this way, or why is this happening, or what's going on? And I think it's cool to be able to give that context without it being like that's what my character would do, or like meta, like big long dialogue on the car ride home. Like I think it's cool to give that perspective to people.
Yeah. I mean, you can also just be like, okay. So as we enter the tavern and you see this individual that you haven't seen since you were a child, you're like, okay, my character is mentally, like they are internally freaking out because they're seeing this childhood friend that they haven't seen since they were like a little kid, that they had a huge crush on, and now that they're grown up and they're like seeing them like this crush is like an adult thing, and it's like, okay, well, how do I interact? And then you walk into that tavern and you go, hey,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
sometimes you can like, you can narrate those internal things and just like add so much additional like nuance and flavor into what you're doing. Like, oh, my character walks up to the bar, elbow on the bar. How you doing?
Big fan
Internally
of people
screaming.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of descriptions generally from a player perspective. I'm learning kind of the more that my campaign goes on, and the more I get to, and the more that the players settle into their characters, because we run monthly. So that's a big gap, like it's very cool to see that start to expand and become more detailed. I love that sort of shit.
Yeah, I love that. I'm currently like Mothership is a system I'm currently working with where it's like there is no social role in Mothership. Like there is no, I'm gonna roll to interrogate them. I'm gonna roll to gather information. I'm gonna roll to deceive them. No, you just have to look me in the
Convince
eyes
them.
and lie to me and like
I
convince
love
me.
that.
Or like convince the
Love
other
that.
players. Like you can't just roll like and it's not for everybody. Like if you don't have a role playing group, it's not for everybody. Mothership is not for everybody. But you can also run like games of Mothership where there isn't a lot of role play, like minimal role play apart from like amongst the group. And I feel like players talking to each other is a much easier way to get into role playing a character as opposed to
Yeah.
like I'm talking to the game master and they are pretending to be like a ship's captain or they're pretending to be
Yeah.
this person now. Now they're the AI on the ship. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well now I have to like compartmentalize this person as this and this and this.
Yeah.
And so you just run games which are like more tuned to those players. I'm currently now also experimenting with the Triangle Agency,
Okay.
which is a new TTRPG that it only came out really this year. Um, it is a system that is like one part SCP Foundation, one part Control, like the video game Control, and one part like The Office or like an office
Cool.
comedy.
Fuck yeah, that's sick.
It's also a system that like commits to the bit. Like it's the Triangle Agency. You've got like three kind of character sheets which make up your character. You know like here is my character. They have like time manipulation powers. But they're also the barista who works in
Yeah.
the agency. And then you have like another character sheet which has like your other stats. And like it's so funny. Like your barista gets demerits if they use the correct name for anybody.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Or like you're the CEO, and the CEO gets demerits if they follow the instructions of somebody else. Like they
That's
won't take
sick. That's fun.
and so I was like, come on, get out of that car. We're gonna go do something. It's like, well, now I'm just gonna sit here. I'm
Yeah,
not getting out of the car.
that's cool. I like that. That's a that sounds like a fun system. I'm gonna have to look into that.
You roll D4s and a 3 is a success. Like any 3 is a success. You roll 6 D4s, like 6
Yeah,
D4s, and if any number 3 is a success. And
that's cool.
you count how many successes you have. Any
Okay.
failures give the storyteller chaos points, which they can spend to like just mess with you later.
That's cool. Okay.
It's goofy. It commits to the bit. You've got 9 like player stats, like strength, like speed, like those kind of things. Because 3 by 3 is 9.
Yeah, that's
It's
clever.
it just commits to the bit. But the book as well is. Hang on, I think I've got it right behind me.
Props.
Props.
The illusion is shattered.
Yeah, the Triangle
Oh,
Agency.
sick. Cool.
It's written as like a corporate book. Like, here's how you capture the anomalies. Here's how you deal with the threats.
Good.
But like, I think on like the 4th page or something, like somewhere really early on, it's like, what are the? I hear it. Page 14. What are the company values? Access denied.
Yeah, good.
If you would like to view this page in full, please stare at it for a while and imagine what might be inside. Interpret the possibilities by examining the other pages of this document. When you believe you have figured out, please write the following on an envelope and personally deliver a report of your understanding to your nearest agency office. 2. I agree to be held indefinitely in Vault Room 309. Triangle Agency. Signed, your signature.
Good.
Like-
That's cool. I like that. That's
Yeah.
fun. I
It's-
do have a chat question from Xavier Light. And I can't believe I haven't asked you this already. Do you have a favorite species and class to play when you play D&D, for example?
D&D, yeah.
That feels since that's what our audience
Yeah.
watches the most, I guess.
I like sorcerers because I like playing magic, but I also like having charisma and being like one of the face characters.
What's your dump stat?
Probably strength.
Yeah.
Probably strength.
Yeah.
Wisdom is a fun dump stat as well, because I'm like, I can be smart, but I can be real dumb.
Yeah. I think you and I played that difference very, very interestingly at PAX.
Yeah, at PAX this year, I was really intelligent, but low wisdom, and you were like, better wisdom, low intelligence.
Yeah. It was great.
It was good fun.
Great. That was stupid. It was fun.
Yeah, sorcerers are good fun. More fun in 5th edition than they used to be in 3.5. As just a general rule. Races, I don't know, kind of whatever takes my fancy. Dragonborn can be fun, especially with the more recent like crystal dragons.
Yeah.
Although like there's something to be said about just like a human, just like an average guy thrust into these dangerous situations. They have no dark vision. They have no like hardened scales.
They're surrounded
no
by
breath.
elves and fucking everything. It's
Yep. And all they get is just one extra feat.
Yeah.
But that feat you can do a lot of fun things with.
Yeah. And it's not even a physical foot.
Yeah, that's it. Elves are fun. Elves are really fun.
I love elves.
When you mess with player perceptions of time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we'll just wait for them to come back. When do they come back? Like 20 years. Not too long.
I haven't done that. That's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah, just wait a little bit and they'll be back in no time. How long? Oh, 20 years. Like it's good. Like elves, like, oh yeah, I when I came through here last time, this whole town was like nothing. Now it's a big city. When were you here last? 110 years ago.
I like that. That's cool.
Like they've forgotten more things than you've done your entire life.
Yeah, which I forget truly so much. I got sent...
Play a forgetful elf. Play a forgetful elf who's like, and that's one of the
that's
most
Emily.
fun things. Give your DM a forgetful elf.
Okay.
Tell your DM you were born here, and then question mark. You're here now, and you have memory gaps.
800.
Yeah, 800 years old. You only remember the last 100 years.
Yeah.
You used to keep a journal, but you lost most of it, and
That's
so
cool.
it's like, well, I don't know. I was here last time.
Just figuring it out.
Boy, this whole transportation system's really improved since they were last driving carts through here.
Yeah.
Like now it's all like motorized, crazy.
And that was 400 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Just drop the fact that you knew like legendary heroes and kings. Like, oh yeah,
I knew this god once.
Oh, I met your great ancestor. Yeah, he was a jerk. Like, just
we hooked up one time.
Get some elven blood in you. Don't ask me questions. No follow-up questions. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You're a half elf. But I met your grandmother. Is she half elf? You say? Was your mother a half elf? Oh. We're leaving now. Goodbye.
Yeah. Good. I got sent 2 questions. From a very dear friend and also viewer of the channel, Aurora, who has asked 2 specific questions about the creation of Mr. Red. Who, by the way, fucking cool character. Very, I think that was the most civilized, mutual respect interview I've done as Wisteria Daggerford, thus far.
He appreciates names, and you're part flower, part knife. Like, that's a good, like,
I'm glad
intro.
you've picked up on that. That's, you're the first person that's mentioned anything about that. So,
he's a fae. Like, he's all about names and, like, understanding things.
Yeah.
He would not be that chatty. He would definitely be that chatty, but he wouldn't be as straightforward as he was in our chat just then.
Which you warned me about, and I was able to push you enough to get some answers. So
well, hey, cool. you say I'm in a realm of your own control, and I have to speak more truth than I normally will. I'll play with that, sure.
Yeah, cool. Aurora has asked, how do you pace the active presence of playing a patron for a warlock? And is it that the player brought Mr. Red into the story more, or you, or was it collaborative? Like, how did this all kind of unfold?
So Mr. Red first showed up in a pub crawl arc where they were doing like a pub crawl as a university event.
Good.
And they ended up by accident in his casino, like walked through a magical doorway, stumbled into his realm.
Yeah.
And so Meredith impressed him with her performance ability and like who she was as a character. And then he gave her an acorn as like, if you ever want to contact me, reach out. And then in a fight that it got really, really bad, and she was like, I think she was bleeding out. And like they're only a party of 3.
Yeah.
And like she was bleeding out. One of the other characters was almost down, or like maybe was down. And so like they were down to like just, one and barely a second character still up. And I had like I pulled Joe into a side room because we record on Discord. And I'm like, okay, you're in a forest and you hear this music that you recognize.
Cool.
And like gave this like narration. Like I think I gave it as like a dream sequence that became a waking thing. And he offered power in exchange for her service to him.
Yeah.
And then like she didn't know what was happening the rest of the fight. I left. I'm like, okay, you stay here. I'm gonna come back. And I did like another round of combat and then came back. And I'm like, your friends are in trouble.
Yeah, that's cool.
They're not going to. And like, so Joe didn't know how bad things were getting.
That is devious. I love that.
And so she's like, okay, but and I can stop being a warlock whenever I want. He's like, yes, you can abandon my power.
That's fucking cool.
And then she like came to full health, max spell slots, like, empowered, just go for it. And so like he reached out to her as like in a moment of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And then she's used that power, and then he's like, okay, well, you've been using my power. I need
now you
to
gotta do
a
some
thing.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, do some stuff. And then they went back to him for something else. I just like had him kind of like looming around, like his casino was still in town during this season. And occasionally would do like dream sequence things with Meredith where I'm like, yep, go to bed, everything's fine. You're walking through a forest.
Yeah.
The leaves are falling. And you're a child and you don't remember how you got here, and there's something in the bushes and it's chasing you and you're running and you find an oak tree in the middle of the wood, and this creature stops and you look up and above you is Mr. Red looming down, but protecting you and fending off this creature.
How fun is fucking with your players? It's so fun.
It's so much fun. Meredith doesn't know if that was a dream or a memory.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't know if that was a dream or a memory. Like,
cool.
I've described things from her childhood and she's like, that was a thing from my backstory, but I don't know this extra part that you've added in. I'm like,
yeah.
But Mr. Red seems to.
Yeah.
You're like,
and now you will never know.
Yeah, and he's like, how long has Mr. Red known my character if I was a child? But because he's basically ageless. So he could have known her since she was a child.
Yeah.
And he's talked about like knowing her mother.
Particularly
and he's
about childhood and stuff.
What do you mean you knew my mother? What's going on? Yeah. Just like
you're existential crisising. I love it.
Because like to pull the curtain away for a moment, he was an NPC that I had developed and brought into the story as an agent of the Shroud. They like found him very frustrating because he's a Fae.
Yeah.
And like he wouldn't answer questions directly, and he did all this stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna try again and see if they like this character some more. oh, they really dislike this character. This is gonna be
Yeah.
fun. And you just like play a bit more. And so like all of this backstory stuff has developed since then.
Yeah.
Like this was not something that was written into their backstory to begin with. This is like, okay, how do I work this character into their backstory? And it's like a tree root breaking
Yeah.
through stone and soil of their backstory. And
Yeah.
like it's like they were always there in a way that is both interesting and frustrating and concerning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just the
That's
most fun way to do it.
cool.
I love dream sequences, like, because you can do so much like messed up, wild stuff where like,
Yeah.
you're looking up at the night sky, and then you see yourself floating above you, but they're drowning, and now you're drowning, and then it's like, what's happening? And then
Yeah.
like you can just do crazy things,
Yeah.
and it's like, what did that mean? Was that important? What is the impact of that dream sequence? Did I learn something?
Yeah. I love visions and dreams, and because like these are things I think they're fun because we as human beings, I think when we dream sometimes and we experience that, we understand sometimes the fear of thinking something's happening to you because you're so deeply engrossed in a dream, and then waking up and realizing that it's not, but there were people there that you recognize, or like I think that's
Yeah.
where it all kind of ties into
Because
cool
like you can
reality.
you can do like wacky things in dreams. Like,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
go really like Looney Tunes with it,
Yeah.
where like, uh, your enemy draws a sword, but the sword is your high school math teacher, and they're yelling at you, but there's still a sword, and now the sword comes down, and they're giving you a
Yeah.
bad result in your exam, and you're not wearing pants, and it's like, what?
Everything is bad. Everything is a nightmare, and I don't like it. The second kind of question that I think you've partially answered anyway, but ties into that is like sitting down then after kind of this warlock patron has been created and this pact has been made. What kind of things do you discuss as the dynamic between patron and warlock, or do you just kind of let it happen in the game and check in?
So I'm a firm believer of like lines and veils, player safety tools, DM
Yeah.
safety tools as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
it goes both ways. And like character bleed can be a thing, especially for new players who like, oh, I'm playing this character and they're like a fun, goofy version of me. And like, okay, well, this bad thing's about to happen to that character. Are you prepared for this?
Time to face
Or-
your own mortality.
Yeah, or like, and it can happen by accident. Like, you can write a character where it's like, oh yeah, they got bullied in high school and they're a bit shy and this, and you play that character, and you're like, oh no, wait, this is
is
just
me.
a version of me from high school, and I don't like this anymore. And like something happens and it hits, and you're like, ooh, I wasn't
Ow.
ready for that. And so like when we introduced Mr. Red as a patron for a warlock, like I had a conversation with Joe about like, okay, well, like where are the lines, and like where can
Yeah.
we push this to? But and once we had established those boundaries, the actual in-game like story has been very fluid in like the relationship between those characters.
Yeah.
We've She does not like Mr. Red.
Yeah.
Joe does not like Mr. Red, but she also loves interacting with him
Yeah.
in a way that like it's like when you have like an incredibly spicy meal and you're like, this hurts. More, please.
Yeah.
And I think it's like that kind of like thing, but for their brain that's less like, I don't like that. More though.
Yeah. I love that with a villain. I get that a bunch when I am a player, which I'm like, I am now, like a bunch more than I've ever been. But like, if you give me a really cool fucking villain, I just want to talk to them all the time. It's not gonna happen.
It's also because he's like ambiguous. Like, he helps, but he doesn't help.
Yeah.
Like, and he says he's gonna do something, useful, and then he does it, and you're like, but was that good? Like, that helped at what cost, though?
Yeah.
Like, they were traveling through the swamps, and they got attacked by a hag, and they all had dream sequences because why not? Have some fun with it.
Yeah.
And Meredith was having this dream sequence where it was like, oh, you're in this like beautiful cottage, and this person's making all these baked goods, and they're really trying to be your friend, and like, blah blah. Like, it's like really like playing the like nice witch of the woods type deal.
Yeah.
And this person was like asking questions and trying to get information from Meredith, because Meredith, like, I'm also very much like, there are laws that the Fae have to follow.
Yeah.
And Meredith is a warlock of an archfey.
Yeah.
And so she has like diplomatic immunity. Like,
yeah, cool. That's fucking cool.
If she gets messed with by a Fae, then Mr. Red is also being messed with by proxy.
Yeah.
And so she was trying to like get information without like directly threatening her.
Yeah.
And then like Mr. Red like knocked on her like dream door and was like, "Hey, what are you doing to my warlock?"
Yeah, sick.
And like Meredith's like, "Huh, what's going on?" And then like the whole like the dream illusion
The
faded,
illusion
and she
has been
saw
shattered.
like all of the like terrible things. Because she like traded a recipe, like, this is delicious. How do I'd love to make this. Oh, I'll give you the recipe in exchange for the like, and that's just a regular deal. Like,
Yeah.
that's not malicious. And then Mr. Red was like, you wake up now, and just like pushed her out of the dream. I'm gonna have a conversation with this hag.
Yeah.
And like Meredith woke up and was like, what was the conversation? What were they talking about? What's happening?
Yeah. Cool. I like that. It is 9:30, so we're gonna wrap up, I reckon. Because it's a school night.
Got work tomorrow.
I know.
Look at us doing the job things, professionals and such.
Also, I'm streaming every day this week except for yesterday. So,
yeah, gotta sleep, gotta rest.
Hey, listen, gotta sleep. But this has been one of my favorite. Don't tell the others. This has been one of my favorite the conversations for This Is Your Questline. So thank you for stopping by. Tell us once again who you are, where we can find you, what you got going on.
Oh, thank you very much. It was lovely being here. Lovely to chat with another great DM.
And a friend.
And an excellent player. And, just such a good, like, hard work and content creator. Doing good work for the people and building a great community.
Good. Who are you? Where can we find you? Talk about you.
I'm Ben Keirnan, Keirnan, because I before E except with me. It's just a thing.
I nearly spell it wrong every time. So
I know. It's, to be fair, it is the wrong way to spell it. If you go back historically, that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, I'm the DM for Dungeons and Doctorates. We are DN Doctorates on all social media. We have got more than 200 episodes of our main story. We've got 30 side story episodes. Like, there's a lot of content out there.
There's so much. It's cool.
Like 40-minute episodes. Like, they're really listenable. Especially if you go into our like side story Kobold Capers. Those are very fun and like an easy way to get into it. We're family friendly as well. Like, if you've got young ones that listen to things, we start off very like friendly to new players in D&D who don't know anything, because literally, like, when we started, Joe had never played D&D. Kate had played one game of D&D.
Yikes.
And now Kate's like streaming and doing her own stuff and like all that, and Joe's over in the UK doing that as well. Like I was the experienced DM leading a bunch of new players into D&D, and so many of the rules in 5th edition we explained, especially early on, because like what is an AC? What is a score to beat? Like, how does this work? So very listenable, especially if you've got kids who know nothing about university, because we are all university people.
Yeah.
We're all science communicators as well, like trained professional science communicators, and
That's
so we
cool.
get into this like some real tangents sometimes. Like how do spells work on the moon? Does fireball
Good.
does fireball need oxygen? But like,
Good.
how does just like is ice a rock?
Is
It's just a
ice
question.
rock?
Is ice a rock?
Yeah.
Is it a rock? It's kind of a rock. Anyway, that's a whole debate we had.
Yeah.
Which we went for way too long. I had to cut so much of an episode, like legitimately.
Good.
Like a fade to black moment. But yeah, so that's really fun. Vox and Vacio, VOX space INVACIO, which is voice in the void in Latin because I'm a nerd. But it's a sci-fi podcast coming out soon. The socials are up, so you can find us on like Instagram and Threads and Twitter, I suppose now as well. We're still there, back from the ye olde times before the great
oldie days.
migration. I love joining other guest streams and coming on here and doing this kind of stuff. I don't know if you can see my you can't because the framing Emily's
I
done.
can.
This is just like a wall of Magic the
Yeah,
Gathering decks
it's cool.
I've got here. And behind me is like a bunch of Warhammer. Like, I'm just a nerd.
It's cool.
I love talking about it. And if you have a show and you want to come talk to me, I would love to come talk to you.
Have Ben on your shows. He's real cool.
I need to play more D&D. I just DM so much.
Yeah, you need to play a bunch.
Let me play other stuff.
Yeah.
I love new roleplay systems. It like tickles the part of my brain.
Or put you in a
gets me going.
campaign. That'd be cool. I'd like to see you in a campaign.
Put me in a campaign. Make me a recurring NPC. Make me a
Yeah.
recurring character that shows up and like messes with players in a fun way. But
Actually, we'll talk about that at some point.
Excellent.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for there was a bunch of subs and stuff and bits at the start. Thank you for that. Appreciate the hell out of you all. There's a bunch of content for the rest of the week. I'm not gonna lay it all out because it's in the Discord. But tomorrow night at 7:30, we've got the next episode of Echoes of Divinity. It is a secret episode. It will not involve the entire cast. Stop by and watch it.
is this a sequel to PAX or the PAX is
Maybe.
watch and find out.
Yeah, and then the actual episode is on Friday, so a bunch of stuff. DMing a bunch. But for now, we're gonna go and raid. My good friend Promethean. There's a 0 in it, who has just gone live with Detroit Become Human. And I want to watch them kill everything, because they will.
Make good life decisions, maybe. No,
he's already killed Connor, so that's...
So you know what? I know Promethean. Making good life decisions, maybe not the best.
Good. Okay, we're gonna raid
in the nicest way.
Everyone call Promethean a murderer because he killed Connor. Otherwise, we'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful evening. And enjoy your week, I guess. Let me start the raid because I haven't done that yet. Shit.
Bye.
I'm gonna go to our ending screen. Goodbye, everybody.